Cool. All right, so again, we will start the week out with a wisdom and significance. We'll only do one going forward per week now because we'll have so much else to do. It's funny that you talked about what you talked about first thing this morning because this subject kind of talks about that. And just because I know that it's an adjustment to come back to school, especially for y'all, but for most people, period, even when they fresh out of high school, because it's just a different lane of learning. You know what I mean? It's a lot of different subject matters, and then just flat out completely different subject matter than what you guys are used to, right? It's not stuff that you hear on TV. It's not stuff that you usually would have heard in school. Like the stuff that we go over is like specific and niche to our profession, and so it's a different type of mental adjustment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a different type of mental adjustment. The schedule is a adjustment on top of that. So again, man, I know it to be true. I've seen it with every student that done came through, but y'all can do it. That's the beautiful part about it. You can do it, and you can do it at a high level. It's just a matter of making the adjustment, man. So don't feel no way up. Yeah, it's like getting back in the gym. You know what I mean? If you've been out of the gym for a while, or if you play sports and you've been off the court of the field for a while, and you get out there one day and you just jump right into it, you're gonna feel it. You know what I mean? You're gonna feel it. But that's just letting you know, okay, let me make the right adjustments, you know what I'm saying, so I can actually perform how I know I can. And so this particular subject, I titled it The Student Hustle, the Game of Learning, because while I can appreciate the hustle mentality, right? But it's a matter of how you apply it. And then as students, we definitely can take attributes from the hustle, right, and apply it to our learning, our test taking, right, to preparing for tests, showing up and being ready, you know what I'm saying, to take on the information. So, yeah, man, I thought this was a super dope topic, so we're going to go through this one. Before we do that, though, anything over the weekend? It was beautiful outside. Y'all do anything? You did get it. Okay. Good stuff. Congratulations, man. Yeah, congrats. I know it felt good rolling in that. What you got the Y? Yeah. Yeah? What color you get? White. White on white? White on black. White on black. Okay. Good stuff, man. Congratulations, bro. Anybody else? Last?
I just got together with my family.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Good. And I know you was making music for all weekend.
Yeah.
Did
you get that song I sent to you? I did.
Yeah, man. Super dope.
I did one about him and sent it to him. But
Oh, okay.
He didn't respond. I was like, shit, maybe overstepping or something. I was locked up, but yeah, no, I get it. But, and I did
Hey, what up, Chase?
All right, what's up, dude?
Good morning.
For some reason, my computer's locked me out.
Yeah, from here.
From the main screen, so my password will not work at it. It's
Interesting.
The same password I've been using forever. I don't know what happened, if it updated or something happened, or maybe take it over to Apple. See if
When did it do it?
Just now.
Are your caps on or something? No. I was thinking maybe sometimes caps will be on and it won't let you, but it wasn't on. So, dang. Chase, what's up, man?
Hey,
How you feeling? Oh, don't worry about it. It happens. What was up? You know what's going on?
It showed up exactly when you said you would.
Yeah. For sure.
It just so I have it's like a newer Honda where you have a push start.
Yeah.
And you have to hold the emblem of the key fob up to it.
Yeah.
And usually it'll make a noise and then you can turn it on. And
Yeah.
it just wouldn't. I
Mm.
don't know. It might be a battery or something.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Okay, yeah. So, but you made it, man. Glad you're here. Good weekend.
It was a good weekend.
Yeah, good stuff. The sun was out, man. I didn't do a whole lot. I did get out in the mornings. You know what I mean, to get my little run walk on, and but I chilled out, man. I didn't do too much of nothing, man. I watched the games. I won my pool First and second place. I got first and second place, man. So I should have some chips rolling through here real soon. Yeah, real soon, man. We'll see. The dude, he reached out to me. Is like they released the money first thing in the morning. So I was like, all right, we'll see. But yeah, man. So like I was telling the rest of the crew, this Wisdom and Significance, man, is titled Student Hustle, the Game of Learning. And I feel like learning is a game that you can play. You know what I'm saying? You can be strategic about it. And in any game that we play, there's a level of hustle to that. You know what I mean? How you approach it, how you show up. I often talk about how you practice is how you play. I've had my time in coaching, throughout the years. Of course, I had kids that played sports. All my kids are varsity letter, athletes. And so I understand like what it takes for them to get to a level and what happens if they don't particularly approach it, a certain way as well, right? But the same thing goes for this classroom. I've seen students that have come in and applied themselves, in a certain way, and they excelled tremendously. And I've seen students that struggle, just like it's players that struggle, But it is a matter of how you apply yourself, to these certain, characteristics and that we're going to talk about in this that make a difference. They make a huge difference. And so, yeah, we're going to get into that. But so far, though, the adjustment, what's like some of the first thing that come to mind so far with y'all and just the adjustment with school? What comes to mind?
For me, it's kind of like the commute.
Yes.
Driving.
I know that me and Ms. Lane was actually just talking about that. And we're going to have a conversation with you about it just to kind of get a feel. But, yeah, I already know that's a that's a task.
That's an adjustment.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, you're here, though.
Yeah.
You made it happen, man. So I'm glad. How about you?
Oh man, it's been since the 90s since I was in school.
Yeah.
This is a whole different thing for me.
Yeah, bro. I know. Yeah.
Taking some time. I'm getting there.
Yeah, you will. You will.
Yeah, well, I was telling Mr. Lay when I got here this morning, I was talking with my girlfriend. My girlfriend, she spent 6 years going through PCC and then Portland State and got her master's degree in, criminal justice and stuff like that, like summa cum laude, like almost like
Top of the class.
4 point, like all just
Top of the class, yeah.
And Sunday night, we were turning in Sunday night. She's like, "Oh, so you gonna, it's gonna be nice tomorrow. You got homework to do tomorrow, or whatever." And I'm like, I don't know." And she's like, "Oh, it's striving for that C, huh?" And at first, I was like, I got all,
Yeah.
frustrated pants about it.
Yeah.
And then, and she went off to work and stuff, and
She knew what was going to
that
land.
morning I was like, "God damn it, she's right."
Yeah. Yeah, she knew what was going to land.
She's right.
Yeah.
She's right. Like,
Yeah.
you really just gonna spend that money and just go in there and fall in thing. And I was like,
Yeah.
So I got my little bag and my laptop and my book. And we got the, umbrella, table out in the back porch.
Yeah.
And it was all nice. And I angled.
Beautiful day, man.
Angled the umbrella just so,
Yeah.
Took my speaker out there and rode.
It was a beautiful weekend to do it. That's for sure.
I did little reviews on chapter 10 and took the chapter 10 exam and a couple of times but I worked it out.
And came in with your barber jacket on.
I came in with my barber jacket.
I love it, man.
Yeah, I didn't know
Where y'all's at, man? Where y'all's at?
Threw mine in the wash.
Oh, you throw it in the wash? So I
I
can.
figured it would be on the floor while we're cutting hair.
Yeah, it's all good. Definitely when we get out there, it's not a big deal while you're in here, but yeah.
I went ahead and did my homework and she was like, "I'm proud of you."
Good stuff. Good stuff, man. How about you, Chase?
Just getting used to the intake of all the information
Again, yeah.
in really calibrating my nervous system to a learning environment.
Yes, sir.
Because I think I said this last week, but I would go home really exhausted,
Mm-hmm.
kind of confused at first because I was like, I haven't really done anything physical,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah,
Good.
it's just intaking stuff. But I feel good.
Cool.
today.
Good stuff. Yeah, last week was a lot of information. First week, that's a lot of information coming in. And then again, like you said, there hasn't been any hands-on yet, right? And so that's another. It's like, okay, I'm just going to absorb this information, but I can tell you this, promise you this: once the hands-on start, it doesn't stop. You know what I mean? And so our equipment actually is due to be here Thursday. Might come tomorrow. We'll see. But it's gonna be right on time to move right into everything, man. So I'm excited for that. All right. So we're just gonna talk about this a little bit, man, and you guys can, take from it what you will. You have this available in Google Classroom, something that you can always go back and reference. Just good stuff to maybe remind you when you get into that spell, if it comes around. You know what I mean? Where you're just not feeling like you're not feeling it, right? This is just a reminder, man, that it's a constant and consistent shaking off that feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because it comes, but in order to be and get to where you want to be, and be who you want to become, gotta have that hustle, man. So, and again, you guys already have it. You've already applied it to other parts of your life. You already applied it to other careers that, you know what I mean, and years that you put in, and other things in life that you guys have accomplished. It's just now applying it to a whole new thing, being a student. All right, so the quotes on here, we got the way you get started is to quit talking and begin doing. And that is Walt Disney, a quote from Walt Disney. I respect, the whole imagination coming to life, you know what I mean, history of Walt Disney, you know what I'm saying, and how that whole movement was started and what it grew into from one man's, original imagination. And I can remember going to Sedona, Arizona, and the mountains that they have out there, right? And apparently, if it's not Magic Mountain, it's one of the mountain what's it called? Not features, but I want to say rides, but it's another word I'm looking for. Attractions, right? Is based on those mountains. He used to actually go there, you know what I mean, and kind of like imagine, what if we could turn this into a ride? I think he would go there to meditate, but throughout that meditation, he was like, what if I could take this whole thing and put it in a theme park and turn it into, and so that's where that stemmed from, man. And I remember going and they told us that story and I was just like, yo, anything is possible. You know what I'm saying? Now he has these mountains and the theme parks all over the world, you know what I mean, that people can enjoy. If they don't go to Sedona, they can go ride the roller coasters. So I think that's super dope. And then outside of that, he took a mouse and turned it into a multi-billion-dollar industry, I would even say. A little, a black and white, when there was no color on TV, little non-talking mouse, you know what I'm saying? And now look at what it is. Everybody thought he was crazy. Anyway, so that's that one. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. My man, Jim Rohn. You guys familiar with Jim Rohn? Yeah, and I love Jim Rohn, man. He's definitely a thinker person, you know what I'm saying? Like he forces you to think in a different way and he makes it so simple to where like that, so you just go settle for the C, right? And then it lands just so it lands just so correctly, in your mind. Did it open?
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. Okay, cool.
For some reason, if it ever happens to somebody, it's like power off.
Okay.
Power back on.
Now, keep me posted on that. If that keep happening, we'll take it back because those are new.
I was like, wait a minute, I'm not tripping. I mean, that was the same password we used that whole time.
Yeah.
And so I shut it down. I looked it up and said, if you shut it down, wait a few minutes.
Okay.
Start a few seconds, start back up.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Okay, but that ain't a
That's not cool.
no. So keep me posted on that because we'll definitely take it back to the store because those are new to Apple. So I'm sure there might be some bugs in them. Just let me know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. One thing I want you guys to realize is that every day every day that you guys apply yourself, is a successful day. You know what I'm saying? You guys making a decision and being disciplined to get here, that's success. You know what I'm saying? Doing what you need to do to be prepared to take the test, success. You know what I mean? Preparing your mind for the new information that's coming every day. And hopefully you guys, again, don't take for granted what you just learned last week. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys learned a lot in those 4 or those 5 days. You know what I mean? That's success. So I just want to remind you guys, like, don't take for granted the daily successes. You know what I mean? I think oftentimes we get so caught up in the bigger goal that we don't really acknowledge the small successes, you know what I'm saying, daily that we achieve. And so I think if we do that more, that confidence and that courage that we talk about, you know what I mean, just becomes stronger and more evident to us. So, but yeah, Jim Rome, if you guys ain't familiar with him, go on YouTube and look up some of his stuff. Maybe go to Audible, download some of his books. I have a whole plethora of his presentations that he's done. I did where did I get them from? I did an Amazon online store class some years ago, and the dude just loaded the course up with additional information, and Jim Rome was one of them. He just had a series of presentations that he would do. So I got the whole collection. Donald Trump, he had, before he got into what he's into now, he actually had he was an author and had all types of recordings and presentations and stuff. And but yeah, man, good. Jim Rohn, I like him a lot. All right, if you are not willing to learn, no one can help you. Point blank. If you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. Zig Ziglar. The Ziggy. All right, so definition of student hustle. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this. Previously, when we had Wisdom and Significance, it was great, right? But I chose to not shift it so much, but definitely add a little bit different flavor to it, right? I wanted it to be a little bit more specific. Still on the subject matter, but more specific to what I felt like CBI really was all about. You know what I'm saying? In the student that we have, and the message I'm looking to get across to you guys. And so it's just a little bit different than what it once was in the past. I would say I crafted it, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more this time around in last cohort as well. So anyway, the student hustle is the mindset and habits that separate an average student from a successful one. It's about mastering discipline, consistency, and the ability to adapt and grow. Hustling as a student means putting in the work, staying focused, and consistently sharpening your skills so that success becomes a habit, not a coincidence. I think we all know it's not necessarily a coincidence that success happens. You don't put in some type of effort or some type of work. I don't really consider someone giving you things, to put you in a lane of success. You know what I mean? I don't think that counts necessarily. I would think of the coincidence as, your family, you know what I mean, or somebody close to you put you in position, right? Yeah, you may still be successful, but not the same, in my opinion. Okay, so how it applies to life. Success isn't an accident. It's built on habits. Real quick, what are some habits that you feel like, I already know for you, but it might be some other ones too, that you feel like you definitely have to let go of in order to be a successful student and going forward being a successful barber? Is there any habits that you're already aware of that you need to get rid of?
Being overly critical of myself.
Yeah.
My own work.
Mm-hmm.
I would say.
Okay.
You don't want to spend 3 hours on someone's haircut.
Nah, you sure don't. You sure don't. Yeah. And it can be, that's one of those things that can be turned into a strength, right? If that's something that, is a bad habit per se, it can definitely be turned into a strength, because you should be critical, but not to the degree to where it holds you back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Use it to your good, not to your detriment. So, how about you, Stu?
Try to grow out of everything being a joke. You
Mm.
know what I mean? Actually take something seriously, and it's a lot of times if I feel stuck or if I'm jammed up or if I'm feeling bad about something, I'll go to humor as like a defense mechanism to kind of take myself out of it. But it
Got you.
doesn't- For me, lean over and go to him, and just make jokes, but it might alleviate a little pressure in my brain, but it doesn't help anybody get anything done.
Yeah.
So maybe just actually pay attention, actually take things to heart, actually study things, and actually strive to know things instead of just I paid the money and I'm here and that's enough, and it's not.
Yeah, very true. No, but that's good that you're aware of that, though. You know what I'm saying? That it takes for us to be aware of our own things, right? In order to do something about it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's dope.
Stop acting like I'm the only person in the damn world.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Because you're not.
I'm not.
Are you important though? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And that's why being aware of what you just said is even more important, because you're like, okay, in order for me to really be and do what I want to do, this is one thing that gotta change. Yeah, I love it.
I just being a perfectionist. Know I'm gonna make some mistakes and
Mm-hmm.
being okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Learn from the mistakes.
absolutely. From the discoveries.
From the discoveries.
Yeah. Good. Last.
I think for me would be like overcomplicating,
Mm.
like the materials or the homework.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as long as I try and show the effort, it'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can always again make adjustments. You know what I'm saying? Once you can do something and then say, okay, you know what? I can improve on this a little bit in this area, and then you go back and do it if that's the case, right? Or you ask for input, feedback. And then you get some feedback and say, okay, let me go ahead but getting it done, just get it done. You know what I'm saying? And then we can move and improve from there, right? That's good, man. I like that. Let's see here. Where did I stop at? On the habits part, right? Okay, yeah. Whether you're learning trade, running a business, or trying to improve yourself, the way you approach learning will determine how far you go. The most successful people in any industry are lifelong students. And that's what I strive to be, whether it be in barbering or business or just self-development. I try to continue learning constantly. You know what I mean? And what I found out even more lately, as you learn, you retain the information even more when you teach it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always felt like, and granted, you shouldn't necessarily, there's a thin line, between just taking on information and feeling like you are a professional in it, or like, an expert in it as soon as you receive it. Like that's, some people take on that persona. But when it comes to like, actually, okay, I'm receiving this information and I want to make sure I keep this information, let me share it. You know what I'm saying? Let me share it. It's, especially if it's something that I feel like is, substantial. Let me share it. And that helps me become a better educator. And it helps me retain the information that much better. So yeah, I try to do that more. I always used to think like, oh, you gotta be in something or study something for, a certain amount of time before you ever can share it or teach it or, try to educate somebody else on it. But not necessarily. If you like learn something and you really are like competent in that and proficient in it and have a good understanding of it, share it. Somebody else need to hear it too. And they need to hear it how you present it. You know what I mean? So don't never feel like, say for instance, I'm a brand new barber. I'm not in a position to share this knowledge with anybody. I haven't been in this long enough. Don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a firm understanding of something and you're actually doing it correctly, it's okay to share it, man. even if that means you still in school. You know what I'm saying? Because you might pick up on something faster than he pick up on it. It would be like for you to be like, you know what, man, I'm a student just like you, man. I can't show you nothing. But you actually understand it and you get it and you're doing it greatly. Yeah, go ahead. Especially not just for the reason of we both students, we both in the same, you know what I mean? So, and I myself as an educator, I'm okay with that. You guys are here to learn and to help each other. Now, the part that I do like sometimes there's you got to be careful with is like, okay, you did come here to learn from me, right? And so just having that balance, because I'll be like, all right, well, if you want to learn from Last more than you want to learn from me, go right ahead. I'm not gonna stop you. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like there's a fine line between helping and then just like totally just I'm Mr. Lane now, so this is what we're doing, right? So I've had a few times, where I had to kind of like say, look, man, okay, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, But you just gotta helping is one thing, and then feeling like, oh, I can take over is a whole nother thing. But I don't see that. But I just thought I'd give that example. Okay. Most successful people, I read that part already. Developing a strong student hustle means learning how to push past distractions, stay motivated, and take responsibility for your growth. Distractions always are available. You know what I'm saying? If nothing else available, distractions are available. And so making sure that we see them prior to them actually getting us, out of focus helps a lot. Sometimes those distractions come in, things that we personally allow ourselves to get distracted by, whether it be social media, whether it be TV, whether it be whatever, whether it be somebody, we have to know what stage we're in right now. You know what I'm saying? And I like to look at, this year as a concentration year. You know what I'm saying? You guys are here. There's a concentration of learning that's happening, which is going to take for you guys to be focused, right? To get the most out of it. And sometimes that takes away from time that you may have already been given to something else, you know what I'm saying? Or to someone else. And people can be funny, whether it's friends, family, girlfriends, or whatever. They can be funny, man. They know that you're pursuing something where the encouragement should be there, maybe already has been there. But sometimes there come a time where they're like, man, you don't never call me anymore. You don't never come kick it no more. You know what I mean? Well, you know what I'm doing,
Yeah.
right? Like, but some people can get funny, man. You'd be surprised. So yeah, keep your head on the swivel for that, in the event that it comes, because sometimes it can come from people in angles that you don't expect, and yeah, you gotta say, hey man, you know what I'm doing.
Seems like whenever you're on the path to something good, that always happens.
It's inevitable, man.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. But the part that's beautiful is that as long as we know to expect it, we know how to handle it when it comes. So, all right. Take responsibility for your growth. I think that you guys already are in that lane for sure. That's why you're here. How it applies, let me give y'all a little bit more vision. How it applies to being a barber and student and barber student. Your time as a student is where you build a foundation for everything that comes next. Strong student hustle means showing up prepared, practicing relentlessly, and taking feedback as an opportunity to improve. The ones who stand out aren't just naturally talented. They're ones who go the extra mile, study outside of class, and take every opportunity to refine their craft. The way you train now is the way you perform when it matters. And that goes back to what I was talking about earlier. You guys caught the game yesterday? No? Yeah, Michigan, they pulled it out. And man, you could tell both teams was kind of tired. They played hard, but you could tell like it was the last game of the season. You could tell. But they held on. Let's see. How it applies to being a professional barber and entrepreneur. Barbers who succeed don't just cut hair. They study the craft, learn new trends, and constantly improve their business skills. Whether it's learning new techniques, improving customer service, or mastering financial management. Huge. Real professionals never stop learning. Best barbers and entrepreneurs know that education does not end when school does. Yes, this is, that the concentration year, but you got to continue to put yourself in environments to educate yourself on the craft. Like it's not done, when this is over with. And I've seen people who have approached it that way, and I feel like they could be a lot further along in their career had they just continued to put themselves in environments to learn. It gives you, unfortunately, it kind of gives you open the door for opportunity to be like, well, maybe I might go this way, or maybe that was a cool experience, right? But I see this over here, and a lot of times that I feel like that happens just because you're not really focused on what you came to do. You came, you got certified, now you're out in the field, but you're not approaching it, like fully. And so therefore all these other, like what they call shiny objects, you know what I'm saying, are catching your attention. And that's like that, what he talked about, there is no plan B because it takes away from plan A, that type of thing. And so when you're not focused, like that, all these other things, and then you see people, and it is what it is, but you see people driving TriMet and deciding to go work for the airline or go do something different, and that's cool. But it wasn't because barbering wasn't there for them. You know what I'm saying? It's just they didn't take it as serious as they could have. You know what I mean? And I personally just don't see the purpose in putting in the time and the money just to go out there for a few months and then decide to go do something else. Like that just doesn't make any sense to me. But everybody has their own path. So, all right. The best barbers and entrepreneurs know that education doesn't end when school does. Those who start and always seek growth will be the ones who stand out, build strong clientele, and create lasting businesses. Y'all agree with that? All right, summary here. How to use student hustle to your advantage. Stay disciplined. Develop routines that keep you focused and productive. What's y'all like, sleep routine, home? Maybe you haven't got the homework routine in yet, but what?
I wrote that down. Like I got that going now. Like my
Okay.
schedule, like,
Yeah.
you're talking about getting kicked. Like I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just going to the gym. Like I'm getting myself sleep.
Yeah.
All of that.
Good.
I got it all wrote down. Like I'm falling.
Got to do it, man. Got to do it. How about you?
As far as what?
Like routine. How are you approaching your routine towards, making sure that you, of course, get to school, sleep routine, maybe exercise, homework.
I don't exercise, obviously.
You will.
I'm starting again. So.
You will.
Even with my old job, I would ride the bus from 157th where I lived in
Oh, yeah.
Division to 26th Division. I'd get off the bus there, and then I would walk from 26th Division to my job
Okay.
at 26th in between like Holgate and Steele. I don't know if you're familiar with like.
I'm familiar with Holgate. Yeah.
It's about 1.3 or 4 miles or something like that. I would just walk. I could take a bus that route, but I would just walk every morning, and a lot of times after work I would walk back to 26th Division. So
Is that near security signs?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's
The sign place?
The sign's on the corner of Holgate and 26th.
Yeah, okay.
And it's
Yep.
right by the
Yep.
classic car.
Yeah. Memory Lane. Yeah.
Pacific Pride gas station.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I had to look in my mind. I'm like, okay, what are you talking about? Yeah, okay.
But so,
Mm.
headphones in, and just kind of walk.
So you got to figure out where to fit it in at.
So I gotta figure out where to kind of, because I was weird. My girlfriend and I were looking at like the steps on our phone last night.
How much it changed?
Don't exist anymore.
Yeah. You'll figure it out. You'll get it in. Maybe even like when you leave here, that walking to, instead of hopping right on the bus, maybe walking to.
Because I mean, there's going to the gym, and then there's like maybe just walking.
Walking is good though. You'd be surprised, man. They say walking is at the top of the list, honestly.
I work that out now because I'm like the fattest ever to fat.
I was researching that military calisthenics things. It's all about walking.
Yeah.
They want 10 to 15,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
And then you do your calisthenics on top of it.
On top of it, yeah.
So it's like you don't really have to go to the gym. You can just do the app.
Yeah, I when I actually did a little something through chat to give me like a workout plan and stuff like that. And walking is yeah. The walking was like, it's almost like 3 times a day. You know what I'm saying? That they like get it in here,
Get down on the floor, do some push-ups, do some crunches, do some leg lifts, and do some dips.
It all helps.
The edge of the tub or whatever, you know what I mean? Just to kind of.
It all helps. But you were in a physical, like your job was physical too, right?
Yeah, not as much as it was before. Before I started working the CNC machine, it was a lot more physical exertion and stuff like that. But when I got the higher tech machine, there was less.
Less movement.
Reasons, but yeah.
Okay.
So I gotta work that out.
Yeah, man. Just write it all out, and it all come together.
So when I finally get home from here at the end of the day, like you're talking about being tired and stuff, I'm not really keen on like opening my book back up at night.
Yeah, you ready to chill? You want to woosah.
Watch a couple movies and watch whatever, and get some food and go to bed.
Yeah.
Like 9:30.
Yeah. And at our age, getting to sleep at a decent time is absolutely necessary, bro.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's almost even sometimes more important than the exercise part, because like you got to get that rest in. You got to get it in, man. I ain't gonna say it's more important, but it's necessary.
It's important.
Extremely.
My band's playing on Saturday at 9 doors at 9. I'm like at 9 at night.
Your band?
Or people tell me like, oh, come see my band, come see my DJ night, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
The doors at 9 o'clock. I'm like, PM. No.
Yeah, nah.
Sorry.
How about you, last routine wise?
I'm still trying to figure out, just because the weather's getting all nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like playing a lot of soccer. So,
Oh, word. Okay.
So just adjusting.
Yeah. You'll do it. You'll get it, man. And again, we fresh in, this second week, so it may take the rest of the month to kind of really adjust and get it all the way together. But yeah, you'll do it. How about you, Chase?
I got a lot to fit into one day.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
You'll do it. You'll do it.
Between school, working out, getting my steps in, going outside and enjoying the sun, and just like talking to people, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's hard, so I don't sleep very much. But
The cool thing about that is that you're 23 years old. So my son, he's very much the same when it comes to so he actually moved back home a couple months ago, and so him, like when he was in his own place, he would come visit us on his days off and stuff like that, and but you don't realize how much. I'm like, bro, you are always on the move. Like now that he's home, it's like your schedule. You know what I mean? He works like it's. I could see how much he works. Straight to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Then home and then back. And it's just. And when he's not, he's focusing on his little. His amphibians. But no, it's just a trip, man. And I'm like, is that what they see? Is that what they saw us do all these years? You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's different to kind of watch it versus being the one doing it. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I understand, bro. Y'all, and especially with the gym thing, you guys staying fit and all that. Like he's religious about that, and I imagine you are very much so too. But hats off to y'all, young men, man. Stay active, bro. Okay, be coachable. Very, very important. I think we all know that. Listen, learn, and apply the feedback quickly. Put in the extra reps. Go beyond the bare minimum to truly master your craft. Stay hungry, keep learning, evolving, and finding ways to improve, and own your success. No one is responsible for your growth but you. And I mean, the people that support you, you know what I mean, they're very important. But when it comes down to it, can't nobody want it more than you. So you got to go get it, man. And I threw a little fun in here. I told you guys Martin Lawrence is one of my absolute favorite, man. That show, you know, I was raised on that show. That was kind of like at my teenage years on up, and it was just, I mean, it was everything as a kid. So, I I used to always try to reference stuff, and like I told y'all, nobody would get it because the students were so young. They didn't know who the heck Martin is. But I threw it in there, man. They had a little quote and said, "Don't be like Cole, always showing up late and unprepared. Be like Martin, on point, confident, and always in control of the game." So a little fun I threw on there. But yeah, man, it is a hustle. You know, I think about, I always had to explain this to my kids, like the difference in hustle, right? There's one thing to hustle in a way of getting over, right? You hustle somebody or you get hustled, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's like a negative, you know, the negative side to the word. And we don't want no parts of that when we're talking about being great. So that doesn't apply, right? But everything else, you know what I'm saying, that comes with hustling, you know what I'm saying, getting after it, you know, being the first one to it, giving it all you got, leaving everything out there, not having any regrets, you know, being up for the challenge, like all that stuff applied to learning, you know what I'm saying, will put you in a whole, you know what I'm saying, another bracket. So oftentimes we look at, you know, the hustle is a physical thing, you know what I'm saying, and the action, you know, like physically getting after something. But when you apply all that to learning, I believe it's one of the most powerful things that you can do for yourself. And even more so as you guys are becoming, you know, a whole new professional in a whole new craft, you can't lose, you know what I'm saying, with this mindset. So I encourage it, and I to a degree expect it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's why you're here. All right, so we got one person. Any question or anything y'all want to add to that?
I'd say staying focused. Just stay focused all the time.
Y'all heard Will when he came in here. He was like, "Man, just show up, be here, ready." You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you, that's more than half the battle, really. And then the focus. You know what I'm saying? You're here for a reason, so you know, take advantage of it. And I'm going to deliver. Excuse me. To the fullest degree possible. You know what I'm saying? So, because y'all success is my success. You know what I mean? And I want y'all to be the best that you can possibly be. You know, I want, when you walk into any environment, leaving here, I want them to know when they see that emblem on your jacket, they already know what type of student you are. You know what I'm saying? They already know what future barber you're going to be. You know what I'm saying? That's after now 9 years, you know, it was only so relevant, you know, the first couple years. It became even more cemented as years went on. But now at this point, it's expected. This is what, when people see that, they like, oh, that's where you go to school at? I already know what you about to be about.
Yeah, I told my buddy Dave, he's like, oh yeah, one of our barbers went there and she's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, who was it? Oh, Jilly. Yeah. My Jilly. She actually, man, unfortunately, I saw that she's leaving Throne.
She's gonna go get a studio.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, you know. And I'll just talk about this real quick. My personal opinion on studios, I'm not with it. You know, everybody has their thing. It's new to the professional barbering. as of, I'm gonna say 5 to 8 years ago, kind of in that span of time, is something that's become more popular. I feel like it tears away from the barbershop though, honestly. And I feel like those that aren't seasoned in barbering, it's their first step away from the profession. Because it doesn't, if you're not well established, it makes it hard for people to find you. Granted, social media, it has all the perks of being accessible, so to speak, right? There's a lot of effort that has to go into that, though. And that's, hey, if you up for that as a professional, cool. But I feel like it's definitely, it isn't a good thing for barbering as a whole, in my opinion. I feel like the barbershop is the cornerstone of our profession. And as people start to pull themselves away from that, I just don't think it's a.
She's just like maybe 2 or 3 years out, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And again, I just feel like.
She's cool as hell.
Oh, Jilly is super.
Got to, in between her clients, she actually came up and sat down and talked with me and stuff. She had a lot of.
Yeah, Jilly is super solid, man. I enjoyed her as a student. And yeah, man, it's a tough one. You gotta really. I would say you gotta really have some signature like attraction. You know what I mean? You gotta have a signature attraction in order for make that work, man. I look at studios like going to cut in a jail cell, man. That's how, you know what I mean? You get your 5x8 or whatever it is, 6x6, whatever it is. And ain't no windows in there. You know what I'm saying? It's just claustrophobic. I couldn't do it. I don't know how people do it. But some people do it and thrive. I've been in this for a long time. And you gotta, now somebody that's been at it for 10 years, solid clientele, decide to leave the barbershop, cool. Fresh in the game. And if your clientele, if you ain't booked out, don't do it, man.
I was talking to Amy.
Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Talking to him over the weekend, and he was in on Easter at the barbershop.
I know he was.
And so I went to see him.
Uh-huh.
See him, and signed up. Said I'm going to do. I'm like, even though I'm going to school, I'm gonna give the business.
Yeah.
And we were talking about like networking and how to like get clientele up and the whole 9 yards, and so for me it's just like someone in the field seeing all that. What his daily struggle is, he wants to stay in the barber, like he doesn't want to do anything else but that.
What would you say his number 1, 2, 3 type thing to build a clientele? What did he talk about?
Always being there. Like,
You got to be at the shop, bro.
He's never. You don't see him sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's always doing something.
Doing something, yeah.
Always doing something. And then he's always networking and brainstorming.
Mm-hmm.
People.
Yeah.
Always, I think doing his best with every single client.
Mm-hmm.
Talking and being personable and just
knowing
when to talk and when not to talk.
Yeah. That stuff goes a long way.
Yeah.
But the number 1 thing is, and he gets it, I didn't do this to not be in the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? Like I went and did it for him two rounds of school.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I did that to do this. So I'm going to do it. If the opportunity is there for me to be in the shop, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, I respect people that wasn't in, that didn't want to work on Easter. That's understandable. But I respect the guy that was there on Easter.
He was the only guy.
You know what I'm saying? I said, bro, what else am I doing? I'm going to work.
And he was booked.
I believe it.
He had people.
I believe it, man. And he's going to be booked.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time. It's a matter of months that he's been in the shop. You know what I'm saying? I think about 6 months now. But
he does a good job too.
oh, he's
Everybody.
man, I'm telling you, he's gonna be a go-to barber.
Yeah. So he's good.
And the fact that he knows like he come from a different background. You know what I'm saying? Like he is military. prior to coming here. He got a different responsibility level. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I talk about that as well when we get a little later on. It's like I've seen a difference in student based on responsibility level. You know what I'm saying? Like some students come in, all they got is a cell phone bill, you know what I'm saying, that they're responsible for. You know what I mean? Then you got some, they got a car note and car insurance and, you know, maybe rent. And then you got some that got a mortgage and 2 kids and this, that. So like the responsibility level is different. So that sometimes the approach to this is different. It's based on that. And you can kind of see that difference. And then some people, none of that matters. I'm here and I'm focused to the T because I got a vision, you know what I'm saying, that I have for myself. And so, but yeah, every student's a little bit different, man. But the reality, he understands. I didn't get in this to play. You know what I'm saying? I got into this because I got ideas and visions of where this can take me. And plus, again, he's military, so he ain't about the games. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, he ain't about the games at all. I got respect for Jaime, man. Definitely. The fact that man went to school twice is crazy. All right, so cool. So that's that, man. Did anybody else, man, with the wisdom and significance? Anything? The hustle? Student hustle? All right. Cool. Well, I'm gonna turn this doggone thing off.